All right, it's 9:44 a.m. I've laid out the projection. I've annotated the regular trading hours opening range gap. Here's the low. There's the high from previous day's close to Tuesday 9:30 open. And I've done a 1.5 standard deviation just to see if price is able to reach that level. And here I'm just tape reading at the moment. Not going to force anything. It's going to be patient. See what price is doing. Let's go back to electronic. So we have sell side resting here. Clean equal lows from pre-session here as well. In the pre-session. That could be a potential draw. We have our midnight open within the new week opening gap, which is annotated in the blue shaded box. These two blue lines were previous day's high and a minor buy side from Monday, which price has swept overnight. Or going into London and then taking all-time highs at 811 on this candle, closing above, urging it here. Now, if I'm watching how it reacts to this level. If it's able to displace past and close above and continue higher, I'm most likely just gonna observe from the sidelines. It's gonna drop into 30-second and observe here. So I'm looking at how we weren't able to touch the standard deviation level there. And I want to see if that's a sign of weakness or if it uses this as support, stays in the upper half, and is able to get back there. Looking into consequent encroachment there. All right, seeing closure in the lower half. All right, wicking above this swing high, purging the 105.75 level from the standard deviation of the regular trading hours opening range gap. Not able to close above though, as what it seems like here. And we've entered the 950 macro. Watch and observe what price has to offer. Showing a lot of strength at the moment. Want to see where it closes. Okay, closing above that level. If it's bullish, I'd want to see it stay above this consequent encroachment of this wick. Could go down to this bullish order block opening price, but ideally we want to see it stay above here in terms of body closure. Okay, returning to this bullish order block, overlaying this one here. So seeing that, we should see speed higher if it's going to be bullish. And if it's wanting to go above here. Just watching and observing. Let's see if the bodies are able to stay in the lower half and if it is able to close below its low. Otherwise, it's probably just consolidation here. Conversion fair value gap right in here. So I'm just looking at that without annotating it. And this one as well. So that portion's a balanced price range. This tiny volume imbalance as well. There is a high impact news release at 10 a.m. as well as a medium impact orange folder as well. We're just consolidating between that annotated inefficiency and the standard deviation level. Right now, I wouldn't be interested in doing anything. All right, 10 a.m. Hitting the low of the inefficiency. Let's see if it can close below. All right, it does. Showing closure in the lower half, below the low. At the moment, it seems like it's just spooling, consolidating. Would have had breakout traders going short with the news release here at 10 o'clock. Getting below this low. They would have thought it was about to break lower, seeing this sort of displacement, but it went right back up. You can see how from an algorithmic standpoint, this isn't what you'd like to see. A full gap closure, closing below the inefficiency here, you'd want to see this stay in the lower half. Instead, we saw it just displace through. And then look at this here. It's not worth engaging. Nothing there. If I was to go to the 1 minute, this would be even worse looking here, as you can see. No first presented fair value gap on the 1 minute yet. You want to see at least 10 handles of size to classify it as a first presented fair value gap. This one falls short of that. The low is 90, high is 82. So 7 3/4, not enough. Wow, this is not pleasant looking. We're seeing the bodies respect this level. Now I want to see if they're willing to give displacement lower, or if they're just going to spool and consolidate. I'm going into the lunch macro, which can start as early as 10:30. The retracement into the opening range or the New York AM price range. I'm just watching this inefficiency here. And it's getting into the lower half here, close there, and the bodies are staying right around consequent encroachment, staying in the lower half. So I was just looking at that. This one's dug up to get into here. But yeah, I wouldn't be pressing any buttons here. Wow, look at that. Fails to close below this low, but it does sweep all the orders below here. I'd want to see if it can get back to opening range gap high here. You can see how that just came out of nowhere though. So if I had seen displacement like that here going through on the first pass of the inefficiency and then using it as support like this, I'd be interested, but nothing now. I'm just going to observe this. It's worked its way below this low here, just slightly. See if it can stay below this wick, consequent encroachment. There you go. Showing weakness at the moment. See, I don't like how it got back above the consequent encroachment there. Body closing below the inefficiency. Let's see where this one closes. It's able to displace into the upper half again. Closing above the high. Breakout traders would have been going short once again below this low and this low. Trap them here. Their stops would be above here, so now I'd want to see if it can get back there. It's just doing all kinds of things at the moment. Observing this wick here. Ask yourself, would you be able to engage in this price action that you're seeing? Would you feel safe doing so? I personally would not. This to me doesn't seem very algorithmic. 10 a.m. news candle, closure below inefficiency, and then immediately displacing higher, consolidating very tightly, and then all of a sudden breaking lower, taking out all the liquidity below these lows, and then just going back and forth. Very high resistance liquidity run conditions. Not much to offer there. So it's good to sit on the sidelines during times like this. Just observe and learn. And that'll be it for me today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.